Live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new episode of Stand-Up Sit Down. On today's show, I have the hilarious, the talented Jessica Keenan. Stay tuned.
You are now tuned in to Black Hollywood Live. Stand up, sit down.
Hey.
Yo, they wanna know
Who's that girl?
Come on.
See, now I feel like
It's a good song.
I have to say why we picked this song,
Okay.
though.
We picked it because this is the song that I play in my head when I walk into parties.
Yeah, no, I mean, and here's the thing.
Everybody has like it's just to like boost my confidence.
But it's such, like, it makes me think of, you remember the movie Can't Hardly Wait?
Yeah.
And then when when Jennifer Love Hewitt,
Like,
right,
yeah,
walks in
walks-
slowly.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how you like
No,
walk
that's how
into rooms.
Right, but then I like fall down or something
Oh, okay,
awful
then.
happens.
And then you
not
pop back
her.
up. Who's that
Yeah,
girl?
and everyone's like, "Who is that girl?" It's like a different.
Yeah. How are you?
Good. I'm really good. How are you?
Good. You know, it's
Yeah.
Sunday. You know, it's
Sunday
nice.
fun. It's never fun though. It's like,
I mean, I had fun today.
oh, sorry.
Got up,
guess I
got
didn't.
some donuts. Like that's
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's
You
yeah.
did
I got
have a fun
I
day.
got coffee and donuts, and I was like, all right, now
Like
I
think about getting donuts, but I.
should just go. That's the thing. Like if you think about it, then
Oh,
you
how
should
little
just,
you know about me, Nick.
you should or
You
or
should
Postmate them
Or
and
what?
have them come to your house.
No, like I can't eat donuts.
Well, like, I don't understand.
I know you don't, because you don't have eating problems like Jessica.
Oh, because you'll just like eat like
Like I'll
3
eat.
dozen.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean
And then I go downhill real quick.
I'm in that boat too, though. Like I've
You've
listen,
probably been skinny your whole life.
I mean, okay, but
Don't lie.
that's against.
Okay, then we're done.
No, because the thing, because my metabolism is super
boy,
quickly.
oh,
Like it's super quick. It's super quick, and like I'm
That
almost
sucks.
30 now. It does, because like what if I want to become a sex symbol? Tyson Beckford, and I can't now
Because
because
you can't gain weight.
yeah, because of metabolism.
Oh.
See, so
I
listen,
wish I could
there's-
feel bad for you. Like, there's something inside of me.
Okay, all right.
You're so offended.
All right. I'm saying it's different for guys, okay? That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
It's much harder.
There's no waif guy models. Like, that's weird.
You're not like, you act like you're just bones. You're just thin.
So welcome, Jessica.
Thank you.
Good to see you. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. I want to say the last time was at Inside Jokes.
I'm sure. Yeah, and that's not even there anymore. Is it?
No, it's still there.
It is?
I was just there the other day. Yeah.
Okay. Then
So,
I haven't been there in a while. I thought no? It's
yeah.
still there?
It's still there.
All right, my bad.
You gotta talk to the bookers. I guess.
Maybe I'm just never there, yeah.
So
So,
we're gonna go all the way back. So like for people
Okay.
who don't know you, this is for them to be like, oh my goodness, I had no idea Jessica was from Vegas.
or Jessica, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Who she is.
I'm just gonna keep saying like you're like. Do people call you Jess?
Yeah, people call me Jess.
But do people call you Jessica? Do people
Yeah.
like say your entire name though, like Jessica Keenan, Jessica Lynn Keenan? Do people say the entire thing?
No. No one ever says my middle name.
Okay, I just know because it was on the email.
Yeah, I was
that's
like,
why-
oh, wow. I'm like,
Yeah.
how did you know
Did
that?
crazy research,
Yeah.
right? Stalking now, it's
You're
super crazy,
good.
right? So Vegas,
Yes.
what was that like growing up?
It was cool. Like, I grew up in Vegas, but it wasn't, I feel like when I say that,
Like it
people are
wasn't
like,
like exciting.
whoa! And it's like, no, like, I grew up with a single mom, Mexican mom, and it was just, like, really strict. So I didn't really know about, like, the strip.
Really?
Yeah, like I knew about it, but I didn't, like, think it was that cool until I was in my 20s. Then I was like, what?
Right.
I'm a mess.
But I mean, like,
Yeah.
is it weird though? Because like, I feel like living in Vegas, like, it's not as exciting as when you like go for the weekend.
Yeah,
and, then you
and like when
leave.
you grow up there, there's suburbs of Vegas. It's
Right.
not just the strip. So
Yeah.
I think people's concept of it thinks that you're like right in the mix.
Right.
And it's just like any other.
There's like a
place.
like
There's,
a
like-
regular Ralph's down the street.
Right. My mom wasn't like just raising us like.
On the strip.
yeah.
Get out there and make us some money.
Not till I was older, and then no, just kidding.
Working at the Bunny Ranch now, Mom. So, what kind of kid were you growing up? Were you bully, the mean girl?
No. I wasn't.
Class clown.
I wasn't bullied. I was kind of quiet. I mean, I'm a comic, so it's like nobody was ever really popular if they're a comic. Like, it's not like I was like, oh, I was killing it.
Right.
I was just kind of, I like to watch people a lot. Like, I was kind of creepy a little bit.
Just sat in the corner?
I would watch, like, all the popular kids hang out. Like,
this is like it's a little sad.
Because
Like, I feel bad for you.
Yeah, I mean, see what I mean? This is why. This is why I'm a comic. Like, that move was like, who's that? Who is that girl? It's
Who's
like the
in the
same
corner
thing.
looking at us, just awkwardly writing in a journal? This is
Why is she not? I'm like, oops. No, I mean, I wasn't. I don't know. I wasn't like cool. Obviously.
Did you play any sports or anything, or like?
No, I wasn't like. I was on the bowling team. Is that?
I mean, that's a sport.
I have my varsity letter.
Nice. in bowling though, so that's your claim to fame.
So yeah, it was not cool at all. Like, I was in forensics. Do you know what forensics is?
Yeah, like CSI.
No, it's a. I mean, yes, that's also correct, but it's like a speech and debate
Oh, interesting.
class. It was sad. I wasn't a cool kid at all.
Like, did you like win anything or like?
Yeah, I won a lot of stuff like in forensics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were good. It
Yeah,
just
I was
wasn't
good
cool
at.
to
I was
be
good
like.
at not being cool. Yeah.
I see. So then, like, what prompted the stand? Like, what introduced you to stand-up comedy?
I mean, that class kind of showed me that I loved doing stuff in front of people and making people laugh. I mean, just growing up, I was the third child, and so I had to get attention.
But I mean,
some
like,
way.
you were the baby though, like, and you didn't.
I was the baby, but it was a girl and a boy and then another girl. Like, by then it was like, we've seen that, it wasn't. Like, so I was like, oh shit, like, I gotta do something.
Yeah.
So like, my way of getting attention was to make people laugh. Like, the very few pictures I have are like me dressing up as like an SNL character. And then my mom was like, oh, you're so funny. And I was like, oh, good, I have a picture. Like, like me just photobombing my brother and sisters. So like, there's no pictures of me.
That's so sad.
It is so sad. So now I get on stage and I'm like, hey,
Take pictures of me,
hey guys, I need attention.
something. That's wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you would never know that you were just like
A
not
loser.
in any
I mean, I
family-
think that
family
people could
photos.
just assume that most comics were not, right? Oh, were you cool?
I wasn't cool, but I wasn't like.
You're like, I was skinny and I was cool.
No, I mean, like, it's like people like to hang out with me, so like I had friends.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
but I was also an only child, so like my mom just like took like a bunch of photos. So
You're spoiled.
not really.
No?
We weren't like rich or anything, so I wasn't like,
Okay,
oh my
not like with
god,
that.
Nick's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Richie.
Just with
It wasn't-
attention.
Yeah, I mean, it was like like
Yeah.
my grandparents spoiled me, but I wasn't like my mom wasn't like, here's everything. She was
Yeah.
like,
I mean,
"No,
I
put
have
that
a
down."
theory that like most comics are either only children or they're the youngest.
That's
I
it.
think that's right.
Or like an awkward middle child though.
Occasionally. But if you start asking comics where they are in their lineup, and then I'm going to win. My theory.
Came out last, guys. That's funny. So what was the first show like? Like, and what was the moment where you're like, you know what? Let me try this stand-up comedy thing.
I moved to LA and I wanted to try stand-up, but I didn't really know how. So I took a class, and which was the best thing that you could ever do.
Really?
Yeah, because then you learn before you're going on stage. You get a little bit of confidence.
Right.
Because you need confidence, like,
I mean, that's true.
especially your first time.
But everyone's nervous though.
No,
Everyone's nervous. to try
everyone's
something like
nervous, but like the support that I got because I did that and like had like a showcase of like all family and like you think you're good
Right.
when you're
Right,
not,
right.
which you kind of need that. I needed that for sure. Like, I needed that little bit of like coddling before because then you learn you're not funny. And
Yeah,
then
okay.
you're
This is
like,
what it really is.
But at that point you already have some confidence.
So your first show was it like the graduation show of
Yeah. So it was like a showcase of you had worked for like I think like 10 weeks on writing an actual set, and you learn the structure of a joke, and then you perform it in front of all love.
And how did you do?
I mean, I think I killed it at the time. I did good. I mean, I feel
And
like
everybody was laughing.
it's set up for you to do that, and you actually have jokes that are well written and not just like I thought of this today,
Right.
you know, where most comics, which I give it up to like anybody that starts without a class or any kind of support, because I'm like, how did you just go up there and not know what you're doing at all and like continue to do that?
Well, I mean, I'll just like watch
Did you
people.
start like that?
My first show was actually a competition.
Oh, it was a competition?
Yeah.
And you had never done stand-up?
Never done stand up.
And how did you do?
Came in second.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
You're like, there were two people.
Yeah. There wasn't a lot of people there, but I mean, you know,
No,
and
I'm
I
messing with
rushed through my 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It was like 3.5 minutes, and I was shaking the entire time, and I was so scared.
Well, that's I mean, normal
Yeah.
to be nervous.
But
But at least you had
it was okay.
good enough stuff to like make it.
Well, but it was also like people like, you know, because it was like you
That you
invite
knew.
your friends, this and that.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, he's so hilarious. Like, we have no idea who this
Yeah,
kid
you're like
is.
the
So,
audience is like my family. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you know,
But that always feels good, and then you can keep going.
it did, and then you hit that
Then you
that
realize,
bomb, and then you're like, oh,
I don't know what I'm doing.
this hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your first bomb like?
Oof.
Take us there. I want to be on stage with you.
I'm
What
trying to
happened?
think. I'm trying to think of my first bomb.
Or
Because
the
I
second.
have like bombs that like I couldn't get up like for.
Really?
Oh yeah, they took me down.
What?
Yeah. I
Well,
had
tell
one-
us about one of those.
The first one of those, because those are the ones that obviously stick, is
Yeah.
I was at the Flappers in Claremont,
Oh, okay.
and this was serious to me because so Claremont is where my mom's whole family is from, and my grandpa, he used to work for Sunkist, okay, and his picture is hanging on the wall at the you know how Flappers is like upstairs. That one.
I've never been to the
Oh,
Claremont
okay.
website.
So Flappers, they have a little it's upstairs in like this huge building, and the building used to be where my grandpa worked. So his this whole thing is about my grandpa, and so I was like, oh, I like have to crush here. Like,
Yeah,
how can I
yeah.
not? My grandpa's spirit, like everything is here. And I had 10 minutes, which I didn't have 10 minutes.
How long did you have? Like what
No,
was your set?
Oh, at that point I probably only had done like 6 minutes.
Okay, so you had to stretch that
And
6 minutes.
yeah, and I got 10 minutes, and I was like, come on, you can do 10 minutes. You can like figure it out. I couldn't. And some of my family came, and I went up, and the woman that introduced me was like, this is the first time that I was like introduced as pretty, and I didn't know how to handle it, which is like the last thing you want. And so she's like, she's gorgeous, she's pretty, blah, blah, blah. And I went up and I started arguing. I was like, no, what do you mean? It was just like, such a hard, that's the thing, is like you learn
You
in
just gotta
front
go
of
with it.
everyone though,
Yeah.
and you like take those hits, but like while
Yeah.
people are watching, and it's like,
Yeah.
God, I wish I could have learned that privately. And then from then on, and then at that point I had lost a lot of weight, so a lot of my jokes were about losing weight, and then I look in the front row, and it's like 6 obese women,
Oh man.
and they're looking at me like how much, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it wasn't gonna win. It
Right.
was just like, I looked like the biggest bitch. Like, I just lost so much weight. Like, it just looked, it was just not good. And then they hated me. They hated me, and I hated myself. And I was up there, and I thought, okay, well, I'm just gonna, get off the stage, because I'm not, like, I'm not delusional.
Right.
Like, I don't think I'm crushing.
But was your set wasn't done? Like how?
No, it
how
wasn't
long
done.
were
I
you
don't
on
know. I
stage
think
for?
I did my 6.
Okay.
I definitely did not go close. And when I ended, I just was like, thank you so much. And like at that point, I didn't even, like, I was all weird with I didn't know how to like put it, you know what I mean? 'Cause that's a thing too. Like putting it back
Yeah.
that's a whole
Yeah.
step. That's like
Yeah.
2 years into
Oh
comedy.
my
You're
God,
like,
yeah.
oh, I put this here.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
there's
No,
steps.
it's actually really scary. Like people
It's
have no
so
idea. how
scary.
It's so scary.
Like I don't think I took
Yeah.
it off the mic for a long time, and then when I started to, I'm like, I gotta go back. Like it was just,
Yeah.
and so it was like that awkward ending where I was like, oh, thank you so much, and then the fucking lady would not relieve me of my, like she was just standing there and like,
Oh,
I'm like,
man.
thank you, like get
Right.
up here
Right.
and take the mic. I'm dying.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so that was so painful.
That's so funny though. So
Yeah.
like now you can at least like
It's funny now. I mean, yeah, I'm like
live it back
sweating
and
down
like,
my back
oh, this
talking
is-
about it, but it's fine.
You know, I broke a mic clip, like putting like the mic back
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
I snapped it.
And then what did you do?
It just ruined the entire show. Because there was 2 comics after me that they had stuff where they needed the
actual stand.
Yes, it was bad. I had to pay for it. It was bad.
You had to pay for it?
Yeah.
That's so dumb.
Yeah,
Where
bad.
was it at?
At Sardos.
Oh.
Yeah, but you know.
I mean everybody has like those mic moments where you're just like, can you just work? That's like the least you can do is just. This is so hard. Can I just be able to like at least easily?
But have you had like the mic come undone?
Oh yeah.
And
sometimes like it's like
it.
that happened to me not long ago where it just like came out. I was like at the Comedy Store and I'm like, you just have to mess with it. But like when you first start,
oh my god,
that is devastating.
It's
It's like,
yeah.
it's like. It's worse than like someone heckling you.
No,
because you can't put it back.
Right. There's no way to look cool.
You'll never look cool. But that's the only good thing about comedy is like you don't have to look cool.
Yeah, I mean,
which I love.
If you're messing up though, and then like the mic comes on,
no, for sure.
You know what I mean? Then you just leave, just walk off stage.
You just leave. You just never do comedy again.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. You're just done.
Oh, that's funny.
Do you think being a female comedian, do you think that women have it harder in comedy than guys do?
Well, females just in general have it super easy. You know, we just have it. I mean, men just like respect us so much.
Yeah,
especially
our new president.
Exactly. Now Trump. I mean, it would suck to be a man right now, especially like a white man.
Oh
I
my
mean,
gosh.
bull.
It's the worst.
Who would want to do that?
Yeah. The struggle is real for them. Goodness gracious.
I would never want to be a white man.
Yeah. No,
You do?
No, it's the worst. Especially rich, and you don't want to be a rich
Oh
white man.
God,
Yeah.
that sounds awful.
Yeah.
No one
terrible.
will ever talk to you.
Couldn't take you seriously at all.
No.
You know? Can't get a car loan or nothing. Nothing.
The worst.
Yeah. Police hate you. So I mean, like, wait, have you had any difficulties though that you had to like overcome and?
I think comedy is just difficult.
Yeah.
I think funny is funny. If you're funny, you're good to go. You know.
No, it's very true.
I mean, there's different things for different people. Like everybody has their, you know, and there's different shows that you will struggle in more than other shows. It's just.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like everybody says the same stuff. It's like there's less female comics.
Well, yeah.
So we have more, you know, when I go on stage, it's like, if I'm not funny, I represent every single female. Whereas when a guy goes on, it's just like, oh, that guy sucks, you know?
Right.
But if a girl sucks, it's like all females suck, which
right.
That's kind of like.
No, it is.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. But it also just means that you just got to kill every night.
Totally. But then you also think of all, like, people that bomb. And then you're like, man, you're making us look bad.
Right.
But no guy thinks that, you know? No guy thinks it's like, nobody compares your, like, some guy bombs, they're not like, Nick, you suck, you know?
Yeah. No, that's true.
But if a girl, like, bombs, it's like, Jessica, are you even funny? It's just a lot of pressure.
That's actually very true.
It's true, right?
Yeah. Do you get heckled?
I mean, I've gotten heckled, yeah.
How did you handle it?
I mean, there's different. I feel like for the most part, people that heckle me is different kinds of heckles where they just want to be a part of the show, which I normally get those. I get like the people that just want to participate and kind of answer questions that aren't really being asked, you know? And then that way you just have to play with it and be fun. Right. Versus like, fuck you, shut up, you know? Like, because there's that thin line too where like you have to know if they're really heckling you, or if they're just like the audience can turn on you.
Yeah,
you know, like they have to really be being awful for you to be a bitch to, or like be like shut up. Yeah, you know, and like in that way, or else people are like, whoa, we're all just hanging out, Jessica. You know what I mean? So you have to, and it's hard to hear what they're saying for the most part. Like it's hard. Like, are you cheering me on? And that's always like my first like reaction. I'm like, oh, they're just trying to hang out. Like my first reaction isn't like they're being an ass. Like they just don't have that.
Which is good.
Yeah, but at the same time, like there has been times where they're like being nuts, and you're like, oh, I thought you were being nice.
But like, have you ever had to put someone in their place though, and you're like, okay, listen.
I mean, not for that. No, I think it like I said, it's mostly like the nice heckles where I will have to like turn it where I have to like make them stop talking, but in a fun way because they're still trying to be active with the set, you know, but nothing like too.
So you're
bad.
nice.
I'm
You're
mostly
nice, a nice
yeah.
person. You have nice people that come to your shows. And...
I mean, yeah, there's always like a couple. I mean, yeah, there's nothing. I mean, I had one show where a guy was just yelling like crazy, inappropriate, weird shit, and it was when I first started too, so I didn't know how to handle it, and I just kept going with my set. But like now, I would have said something. But you know, when you first start, you're just like, please, nobody.
Don't say
this
anything.
is so hard. Don't say anything.
Yeah,
you know?
let me get through this.
Yeah.
They'll be done.
Yeah.
And go back to talking.
And then we get
Yeah, it's funny.
So
No, that's good.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to heckle her now, she's
I'm
ready for
somewhat prepared.
Yeah. You can throw out the compliments, guys. It's fantastic. What is your writing process like? Like, how do you come up with jokes and like what is your?
I like to like throughout my day, I'll write little notes in my phone, and then like sometimes I'll be out and like drinking, and I'll think something's like so funny, and I'll write those down. And then sometimes they are later, and then sometimes they're definitely not, more times than not. But I'll go through those notes and kind of be like, oh yeah, I thought, you know, this was funny, and I'll try and see if I can figure out at that moment what I thought, you know. But anything that like kind of, you know, a situation with like another person or like, you know, throughout my day, if I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny, I'll try and write it in my notes because I forget everything. I have the worst memory. Yeah. So if I don't write it down, I'm like, what was I thinking earlier? That was going to be my closer, you know? Yeah. So now I've trained myself to, when I think something is funny, to put it in my notes and be a little bit more descriptive than like, sometimes I will just like write like 3 words. Right. And I'm like, what the hell? You know, like you have to like be, you have to fully, and I feel like hanging out with like friends and stuff, I'll come off as being like, they're like, what are you doing on your phone? I'm like, I'm sorry, let me just finish this one. You know, like this one, because if you don't write it all out, it's over.
Well, I mean, now I think you can, at least me, like I can bullet point it, and then I'll like indent, and it'll be like a little outline. So like I have like these like outlines.
Yeah. But I mean, I just have to write enough so that I remember what I thought was funny.
Did you ever write the full joke out, and then like memorize it, and then go on stage and then like do it, like, you know?
Like write it out right before?
Yeah. Well, not right before. I'm just like when you're thinking of the, because like when I first started, I would write out like everything that I was gonna say. So I had notebooks that are just like full sets
all the
of
words.
Like every ands, thes, commas, periods,
I hate. I actually have never done that, and now I'm like totally screwed because I've been doing comedy for almost 5 years, and my jokes are not all written out. They're just the, you know, beginnings or which is awful, because then when you try to remember the actual like wording, you're like, oh my god, what did I used to say there? So I'm now trying to like type out and document all of my notes or all of my jokes, and that's really difficult because I'm like, I should have just been doing that, and I never did it. I just would be like, oh, that's funny, and then I would tell, because I would tell that joke for so long that like there's be no need for me to like
to write it down.
And now I'm like, oh, there was a need to do work.
Now
you know, now I'm like, every day I'm like, what was the end of that? You know.
Well, you know, now
that wasn't my strong point. Yeah.
You write everything, record everything.
Yeah, I've always recorded throughout.
Everything.
Yeah.
Like video or just audio?
No, just audio.
And you'll go back and like listen to it and see the. And that, like, it works for you?
That works really well, yeah. Because you can hear what's really going on instead of you're just, like, in your head on stage, which is completely different than when you listen to it at home. Right. You're like, oh, that wasn't that funny. or that you didn't bomb as bad as you thought, you know?
That's, yeah. I mean, like, I like to take video just because, like, if I'm doing, like, an act out, if there's, like, a facial expression that
that's
I do.
Interesting.
You know, I'm like, okay, like I practice this in the mirror, but what does this really look like on stage?
Right.
Like, do you see the slight?
Oh, that's so interesting. I hate watching. I hate listening too, but like I think I hate watching more.
Yeah, because you have to relive it, especially when you didn't do good, and you're just like, oh my god.
Yeah, and also just like my facial expressions, I'm just like, God, why you gotta be so much with your eyes, or why you gotta be, you know, like I just like.
But people like that though.
I know, but I don't like it watching myself. I'm like, turn it down. You're pretty moment.
second row Pamela, she's enjoying it.
Yeah, but I just the recording is already hard enough to listen to.
Yeah, so
Your
now
own voice,
you
you're
gotta
like-
watch yourself. And,
Yeah,
No, I know it's weird,
it is.
but
weird.
it's like a nice tool though.
No, yeah. I mean, I force myself to do it
Yeah.
for sure.
Are there any jokes that are off limits for you that you just won't do?
No, I think I won't do it unless I know it's really funny on certain topics. Like, I'm not the kind of comic that's like, something's going on in the world that I got to do that joke. Like, if I think something's really funny about that topic, then I'll do it. But I won't just write it for the sake of having a Trump joke or like, I won't do it just because all the other comics have a joke for that. Like, it needs to be really funny and really smart, or else I'm like, no, I'll just pass on that.
That's
But
good.
I don't think there's nothing like off,
But you will talk about everything. Like there's nothing off the table.
Yeah, I'll
that
talk
you'll
about everything as long as it's in my own, voice and it's something that I feel passionate about.
All right.
Then I'll talk about it.
Did you ever apologize for a joke?
I don't think so. Maybe to my mom. Maybe to my mom, because she's so Mexican Catholic and like she'll see stuff and like, Mija, you don't have to say that word, and I'll just like, sorry, mom. Like, I mean.
Like, but it adds the extra punch. to
Well,
the-
it'll just be like, I'm like, don't mess with my creative process. I become like a 14-year-old and I just like yell at her. But like that too, like, yeah, she'd be the only person I apologize to, only because you
Right.
know.
But no one else. So like if like a group of people were offended
No,
by
I don't care
something,
about
then-
that. No, it's like obviously random people you don't really. It's like okay,
Right.
but if it's like my mom's disappointed, you're like, ow, that hurt.
You know what's funny? Like I have like the super raunchy joke about me and a nun, and that's my mom's favorite joke.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like it's so weird. She's
That's
like, do
so
the nun joke.
interesting.
I'm like, no. Like,
That's so funny.
It's so
no,
weird.
my mom doesn't really know a lot of my jokes. It'll be like something she'll look up and see, and then she'll be like, "Oh, Mija," because it's just hard to perform in front of someone that's so like,
Yeah.
if I'm not like a nun, then I'm a disappointment.
Well, I mean, you're doing big things.
That's my mom.
So you did stand up and deliver.
yeah, I did that.
What was that like?
That was awful. That was not a good experience.
You didn't like it?
I did really bad. That's why it was awful.
Okay, but like, what was the overall like
No, it was cool.
television and this and that?
Oh, it was awesome to be on that, but I had only been doing comedy for like I think 2, maybe 3 years, and so I
you
just
weren't
wasn't ready.
Yeah.
And I was not ready, and I was surrounded by such amazing comics that I looked up to, and I bombed so bad. And like I don't even know if they aired. I just was like, I don't ever want to see that content. Like I don't.
It's probably out there somewhere.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But it was so bad.
Really?
Oh, it was so bad.
How long did you do?
How long of
Yeah.
a set? Not very long. It was like 5 minutes or something, maybe.
Okay.
It was-
a
it
5-minute bomb isn't
was-
as bad.
For TV, it was like, wow, my one big chance, and I blew it. It was. I mean, everybody there was super nice, and I just was like, get me out of here. Like, when you bomb,
Yeah.
you want to just go home.
Right,
But then they
right.
were like, we have to do interviews with you, and I was like shaking, and I was like, okay, and I was like trying to answer questions like with a smile, but I was like crying inside. It was.
They should do the interviews first.
Yeah.
And
Before I
then
fail.
you go,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you have a great set.
Yeah, so
or
I
you
had
just
to
have
stick
a-
around. You know that really like nasty feeling when you
the
walk by
worst.
someone that saw you perform and they don't say anything, but you're like, I know you don't have to say anything, but then you're like, can you say something? 'Cause
Right.
It hurts.
Right.
It
No,
was-
yeah, it's
It
just
was
it's
like
super
that.
awkward.
Yeah.
Well, there's always more TV.
But it was a good credit.
Right. But that's the thing. People are gonna go find it,
Yeah,
and then like
yeah.
they'll find it, and they'll be like, oh yeah,
I
we
hope
shouldn't.
that it's not out there.
We shouldn't book her then.
Yeah.
So what's the coolest thing you've done in your
Like,
career?
I think the coolest thing is right now is that NBC thing. Yeah, I think this has been such a good experience because they had auditions in 4 different cities, and like you have to sit outside and be like one of the first 100 comics to just do 1 minute, and then you get 2 minutes if you pass that, and then you get go to the semifinals, and now I'm in the finals, which is like I just
Nice.
feel like I've like worked my way into it, so it feels really good, and like this has been such a good experience so far.
How were you funny in a minute?
you just tell your best joke. Like,
and so
your best
if it
1 minute joke.
if it doesn't hit, then that's all
mean,
she wrote for you, huh?
Yeah.
Man,
I mean,
that's pressure though.
It's so much pressure.
And I feel like there's like a lot of funny people. There's probably like a lot of
It's
unfunny
hard,
people. Though.
and there's a lot of really good comics
Yeah.
that didn't make it past the first one, and it was just a hard, process, which makes it cool.
Yeah.
It makes it that much better.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you.
And hopefully,
We'll see.
you make it. Like
We'll
hopefully
see.
you're the one.
I mean, this far, I just feel like every time I get somewhere, I'm like, oh, just the next one, just the next one. I'm
Right.
like, oh wait, the next one is like winning. I'm like, I don't know, but
yeah,
no, I'm excited.
You can do it. Look, if it's not you, it'll be somebody else. So hopefully, it's
Nick said it right here. If it's not you,
hopefully, it is.
That's the best
you.
line ever.
Yeah,
I love that. That's
what,
the truth.
What is probably the biggest lesson you've learned in your career thus far?
Ooh, the biggest lesson probably would be that I feel like I learn something every single time I go up. And that's something that's really cool about stand-up. That I've never gotten off stage and been like, I shouldn't have done this, or I could have done this, or I learned this about, maybe next time do this. Like, I've always learned something, which keeps it fresh and also scary, but, it keeps it like fun. And that's one thing that is like such a lesson. Like, you can never go up on stage and be like, oh, I'm good. Like, I know exactly what to do at all times, know, because it's live. It's like there's something different every single time. You can do the same exact set at a different location and it will be a completely different experience. Yeah. Which is so weird.
Do you still get nervous?
Oh yeah. I get nervous. Now I get nervous only like when they're like, hey, you're next. And then it's like, Hua! And you're like, oh yeah, I do this and go up. But I used to get nervous like, oh my God, like for the whole month, then for like the whole week, and then for like the whole day. And now it's like just right before I go up, I get like punched in the gut. But I still get nervous.
Yeah. But like once you get on stage, then doesn't it all
go
away?
Once I get on stage and then you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But the whole time before, when I first started, I was like, is there something wrong with me? Like, because you ask other comics too. Like, I used to ask other comics, like in the green room, like, oh, are you nervous? And they were always like, no, I'm good, and you're like, oh shit.
They're nervous.
I know, but some people don't have the same nerve. I don't know. I feel like I have more nerves.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Or less nerve. I don't know.
Something that Chris Rock said. He says, if you stop getting nervous before you go on stage, that means that you don't care about it anymore. You should stop doing it.
Oh, that's interesting.
So keep getting nervous. Because he still gets nervous.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. Yeah. That's comforting.
Yeah. So, if Chris Rock still gets nervous, like going up at the comedy cellar or whatever, then yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just always get, I don't know.
No, it's good.
Those nerves.
That's good because like it helps you perform better, I think.
Yeah. Because I feel like if you think you have it all, it's like,
then it's scary.
You just get humbled real quick.
Right. And then that's when you fall.
Because
you
don't.
Right.
Like, because you know those feelings of like, am I going to get them? You know? Those always run through my head.
What would be your biggest piece of advice that you can give to someone brand new coming into the business?
Oh, biggest piece of advice. I would say just try to write like your own story. Try to write what's true to you and what you're going through and not try to emulate anyone else, and just try to stay as truthful as you can about your own life, because I think people's lives are so interesting, and like sometimes when you try and like make something up, or it just doesn't land as well as if you're telling the truth. And I think that's the biggest thing that I see in comics sometimes when they're first starting off, is they try to like, they're like, no, but not really, and then then we're like, you just lost all credibility. Like anything you're going to say from now on, I'm not going to find funny, because you're just like making it up.
Yeah.
It's your own life is so funny. Everyone's lives, like you can pull out cool things in everyone's life. So that would be the advice.
Nice.
Yeah.
So now I should stop lying.
You're like, have I been doing all of my material incorrectly?
Yeah, no. I mean, I just started like talking about myself versus like talking about like other experiences or whatever. So
I mean, even if it's another experience, it's still through your eyes, and that's fine.
But I also do because like people were saying that like, Nick, like you're funny, but like we don't know who you are. Like we want to know you.
Yeah, and I think that's
So-
the coolest thing. Like, my favorite comics are always like the people that create their whole world for you, and you're like, you feel like you're like, oh, hey, what's up, you
Right.
know? And
Right.
that's kind of what I want to be, and that's what I try to do every time I go on stage.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It has been
This
fun.
is so legit.
I mean, yeah, you know, we try to keep
This
it
is like,
MC Hammer here for you.
This is real, you guys. This isn't a fake.
Yeah, no, this is like an actual screen right here. Yeah.
This is my
Yeah,
first
yeah.
like real. It's not a
Where-
creepy apartment
No,
with a
no.
green screen.
No, this is like there's real lights
This is
and there's
legit.
like
This is a
people
real-
back
yeah.
in the back doing
Yeah.
the whole
You
thing.
switch the background as I'm saying that.
Where can people see you live next?
Next, I have the Comedy Store on Saturday.
Okay.
'Cause we have the holidays, and then I have Comedy Store Saturday, and then I have the Improv. The NBC thing is Tuesday at the Improv.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And where can people find you online?
I have my website, which is jkeenan.com. jlkeenan.com. There's a lot of Jessica Keenan, so all my things are like JL Keenan, J Keenan.
Yeah.
I'm like, can I have a unique name? No. My Twitter is JL Keenan Comedy. Instagram is J Keenan Comedy, and then Facebook is my name.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank
It
you.
was
Thanks for
fun.
having me. This
yeah.
was really fun.
Yeah, we had a great time, right?
We're like, did we?
We'll have to watch it back. We'll see. Thank you guys for watching. Of course, you can find me all over the internet at the Nick Perdue. And until next time, we'll see you soon.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.